U of M great and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermanni. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go. It is Tuesday, August 9th, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, Bottom Line, Woodward, Sports Network.
Yes, sir.
Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
What's up, my friend? How's your day been? I like fine. You. I like you with the Under Armour golf shirts, and then the shorts. Now you've been wearing them a little bit more. Seem just more relaxed and laid back.
So I was telling Maz in the bathroom, having a long conversation in the bathroom. Yes.
It's a hell of a way to start a conversation.
That early in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard enough to find clothes to put on, like suit and tie.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is put clothes or find clothes or take clothes to Fox 2 to then change after that work part of my day.
Yeah, but how hard is it to put together, three of, because you love the Under Armour shirts, how hard is it to put about 3-4 of those in the bag, 2 pair of shorts, put it in the bag, leave it at Fox 2?
It's not.
Ah,
that is why I've been doing it a little bit more, Tom Mazawey.
Oh, it's so good. It's all good. Hey, guys.
How you doing, buddy?
Gorgeous day out. Looking forward to catching a little bit of a baseball later. Not watching the Tigers, but going to a baseball game.
Are you going to see the Tigers?
Yeah, I am.
You know what disappoints me? Like, not you. But at one point in the season, the Detroit Tigers were better than the Orioles. The Orioles were the bad team. It was the Orioles and the A's, and the Tigers were in there, but they were the bad team. The Orioles are 5 games above 500 right now with dreams of October.
They're supposed to be the Tigers. That was supposed to be the Tigers. Camden Yards is full every night. They're loving that team. They made trades at the deadline. They are pushing to making the playoffs, and that's so great, man. When your team, if you're a Mets fan, you're living the life right now. You really are. It's fun to be with. Like, I watch the Dodgers like 4 or 5 times a week. I don't like the Dodgers, but they're a fun team to watch. Great to watch, man.
So our own Neil Rule was out at Citi Field.
Yeah, I was back and forth with him last night.
Yeah, this past Monday was out at Citi Field and enjoying a game, and those are the questions he was asking the fans. It was like, imagine not having Max Scherzer. Saw the shot he took at Detroit for doing that. But it's a different thing when your teams are in the playoffs, or when your teams are comparable, or when your teams are good. It's a different energy in the city, and hopefully we get a little of that this year.
You do feel cheated a little bit as a sports fan in the city of Detroit because it has been such misery. The only thing we've known has been misery over the better part of the last decade, for sure.
8
right?
years.
I mean, 8 years. But even the heartache of 9th and 10th year.
2014, who did we lose to? We lost to the Orioles.
Exactly.
And here we are again.
Swept out in 3 games.
Thank you, David Price.
No doubt, guys. So enjoy the game tonight, Maz. I'll tell you, there is no better night, perhaps, to go to the ball game than tonight.
It's the rest of the week, a little bit too, man.
Yeah, the rest of the week is going to be every bit as nice as it is tonight. If you're watching live, I mean, you know exactly what we're talking about. If you watch it on your own time, well then,
hopefully it's nice.
Hopefully you enjoy the day. But nonetheless, guys, something that happened. We're going to talk a lot of football today. I do want to make mention off the top of the show. Serena Williams announces she's going to retire after the U.S. Open. In my opinion, not only the greatest tennis player of all time on the female side, but she's the greatest female athlete this country has ever known. Is that fair to say?
I would do you one step better. I could argue that she's the best tennis player, male or female, of all time, and I can argue that she's top 7 athlete of all time. The things that she's been able to do in her career from a young age till now, I mean, you just start listing things off, not even the numbers. I mean, the numbers themselves. Most Grand Slam titles, most titles, period, 73 in total. Olympic medals, 14 Grand Slam doubles champions with her sister Venus Williams. Won U.S. Open pregnant, by the way. Let's throw that out there as a caveat. She's just been amazing, but the pressure that was put on them, I mean, you saw the movie. King Richard, it won an Oscar for a reason. There was a lot of pressure put on Venus and Serena from the time that they started playing tennis to now. And she's been able to do it all gracefully, take it in charge, and take it in stride, excuse me. She's just freaking insane. She's insane. She is insane.
She is the boss, man. I'm a big tennis fan.
Yeah.
Used to be a huge tennis fan. It's not the same anymore because the names aren't out there anymore. But I went to 3 U.S. Opens. New York, is going to just be on a love fest with her. It'll be must-watch TV, guys. Even if you don't love tennis, you got to tune into the U.S. Open, which is coming in. Yeah. You know, it's always at the beginning of the NFL season. So you catch it. I hope she wins it all.
When you talk about the greatest ever, like when we start talking about the greatest ever, there's things that make up that greatest ever. It's most money earned, because money is always a part of it. Tiger Woods, he's grossed the most in golf. Michael Jordan, if you count everything else, he's goes for more in basketball. So that's a part of it. Then it's the championships. Well, she's number one in that right as well. And you look at all those things. Olympics, she's got 4 gold medals in that. You start just listing off the things, and she checks all the boxes that you would put up there for the other individuals that go into the greatest athlete of all time. So I have no problem putting her the best tennis player of all time, and I have no problem putting her top 7 athlete of all time.
Yeah, pretty incredible. And just as you mentioned, New York loves Serena Williams. Part of loving athletes, too, no matter if you're Derek Jeter, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, is you give fans such moments of joy.
Yeah.
Like, you create these moments in a fan's life that brings them so much joy. The only way they can repay you for those moments is to cheer you clap their hands, buy your gear, do anything that they can to show you that they love you and to thank you. I mean, you know, I'm watching this Derek Jeter documentary on ESPN Plus called The Captain right now, and Derek Jeter is, I mean, my favorite. I hesitate to say my favorite because there's so many, but my favorite professional athlete of all time, just because he was so good on the biggest stages and won championships and leaders. I love leaders, and that goes back to the Miguel Cabrera conversation that we had too about, you know, I don't want to revisit it, but like for me, like I gravitated towards leaders much more than great players.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Just that final season, he created so many moments of joy for people. I mean, people are crying in the stands watching this guy play for the final time. And I think Serena Williams is going to get that same sort of love in New York at the Open.
100%. It's all about leaving your mark on the sport. Like, to get into that category, like leaving your mark on the sport. Look at Jordan. I'm pretty sure his mark is left on the sport. Look at Tiger Woods. I'm pretty sure his mark is left on the sport. It's the same for Serena. It's the same. They weren't showing a ton of female stuff on ESPN when Serena first started. She was one of the first people that they started following, that they wanted to show. They wanted to showcase when Serena was playing the match. They wanted to showcase her on commercials with Nike and Just Do It and Gatorade and all the other sponsorships. She had little girls that not only look like her, look like anybody, all ethnic diversities. They all rock with Serena, and she's created a vacuum of a ton of women starting to play tennis moving forward from the time she started in 93 or 4 till now.
Well, you were saying about these guys and these gals bringing us joy. What did I do to you in the back there, Bray? What did I told you, put your stuff down and watch 2 things. The first thing I put up was a video.
Hold on. Howard Cosell doing the Phillies.
I did. I showed you Howard Cosell announcing the 1980 Phillies at a game. But when I showed him 16 years ago today, Miguel Cabrera against Mariano Rivera at Yankee Stadium, 3-1 in the 10th. He's trying to shut down the Tigers, and it's like a 20-pitch at bat. He fouls a ball off his leg. Blah blah blah. Winds up hitting a home run to dead center to tie it, and Rivera's like in disbelief. The Yankees are in disbelief, and it just brings me so much joy to see something like that. And then I saw Pudge Rodriguez. Did you realize Pudge Rodriguez? He asked his wife to marry him, who was his girlfriend at the time, when he was in AAA for Texas. Turns out they call him up that same day. He has to go up to the big club. So there's a video of him, and Mel Allen is doing that. You know, remember This Week in Baseball? Can't miss that back in the old days. Anyway, he marries his wife on the field and then takes a plane, goes with Texas, plays at Chicago against the White Sox.
And throws out like 18 people trying to steal second base.
Yes, that's Pudge Rodriguez.
Wow.
That's
Killing
the day. It just those things just bring me so much great memories.
The funniest thing about Mariano Rivera, after he hits the home run, so I'll fast forward to the home run, they show Mariano's face. and he says, "Wow, how?" Like he said, I read. I said, "Did he say wow, wow, or how?" And he says, "Wow, how?" I'm like, it's amazing.
Dead center at Yankee Stadium.
So
Mickey
great.
takes him to deep.
Yeah, and that was one of the moments in his career that Tiger fans remember, right?
Yep.
Like one of those moments that actually happened in a game on the field that most Tiger fans remember about his career here in Detroit. Hopefully a couple more throughout the next season.
And Mario and Rod on the call. They were really damn good together.
They were good, man.
Damn good.
And announcers, it's another thing. Why we love our announcers.
Yes.
Because they bring us so much joy. They create these moments.
Vince Scully.
Come on. Ernie Harwell. I mean...
We didn't get a chance to do that. I think, Matt, you had that as a segment, and we never ever talked about our favorite announcers, and we didn't talk about this is our favorite announcers. Or for me, Keith Jackson.
Yeah.
Like he was the end all be all. Like when I was growing up and watching games, and obviously January 1st, you knew the Rose Bowl was going to be spectacular. But once I got into the league, once I got into college. That Michigan State game is synonymous with Mike Tirico. Mm-hmm. He almost got in trouble because they said he was such a homer in that game, but he was so electric. And when I think about that game, I can't think about that game without hearing his voice, and it's taken away. Like I can't. And then going to the NFL, he was Monday Night Football when I was in the NFL. So the game against the Giants, when I told you I was MVP of the game, 158. Mike Tirico. My first game after I got traded from Cleveland Browns to the Jets was against the Dolphins in Miami. Mike Tirico called my first touchdown.
So awesome.
So announcers do make the sport great.
They totally make it.
Without question. Guys, speaking of college football, we'll talk college football. Hour number 2 of the program. Get ready.
Wow.
Get ready for games on NBC, CBS, and of course Fox.
If you're a Big Ten fan.
Yeah, Big Ten games will no longer be on ESPN.
No more ESPN.
After 40 years. 40 years, man. We'll talk about that. But next, we are going to talk about Hard Knocks. The clips are out there. Dan Campbell, Jamal Williams. You'll see some of those coming up next. The episode 1 debuts tonight, HBO 10 o'clock. We will have a post show actually as well. Stick will be in here at 11 o'clock. Stick and Anson at 11 o'clock tonight doing the post show for Hard Knocks.
How cool is that? Watch party.
I've got a different angle on Hard Knocks that I'm a little disappointed in. I'll tell you about that.
Already?
We'll do it next. But first, a message from Gypsy Vodka.
Your official drink of the summer is here. It is the Mulligan by Gypsy Vodka, introducing 8% alcohol seltzer. It is 8%. It's not 5, so be careful with it. Support Michigan Distillers. That's right. Adam and Mike of Michigan State. These guys got it right. Petoskey, Michigan. Iced tea, lemonade, and mango. Drink it for the good times on the golf course, or you can even drink it in the backyard, just barbecuing and just relaxing out a little bit. Summer's almost over, but the Mulligan will still be here for a little while. But grab it now. And if you're going to drink responsibly.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
I told the team last night our identity and who we are and our foundation is all about grit. That means taking it one day at a time, going a little longer, pushing a little harder, thinking a little deeper. Once you've gone through a great suffering, if you will, as it pertains to sports and Lions football, then man, that's when there's a great triumph. And to be a part of that, that's something special.
Always exciting to be back, but I think, yeah, we've got a little bit more pop in our step this year than last year, definitely, with some of the guys we've added and just the anticipation of what we think we can do.
Feeling real different around here. I can feel it on both sides of the ball.
As long as we working, we just have to keep stacking these days so that when it's time, you know, we show up. That's the only thing that really matters is showing up.
Can't wait. Yes. Hard Knocks tonight. HBO 10 o'clock post-game show. Post-show here at 11 o'clock, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, Fletch, and Flannel as well. If you're watching on Twitter, we're going to move exclusively over to our YouTube page, Woodward Sports on YouTube. Like the show, and let's get to 30,000 subscribers today.
For crying out loud.
Can we please? Less than 100 subscribers away from 30,000. Can we get there today, please?
Let's do it.
Please, can we get there?
That's one.
Braylon, I want to come to you with this because I am one of those guys that for years has been interested in Hard Knocks. I have wanted the Lions to be on Hard Knocks for a number of years. Couldn't wait till they were, and now they are. And I'm very excited. I don't want anybody to mistake what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But there's too many clips, man. Like, I just want to watch the show and be surprised. The Jamal Williams clip that's out there that will play for you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell. You got Adam Schefter saying that the Aiden Hutchinson, Billie Jean clip is the most exciting. The HBO producers say that the Aiden Hutchinson singing of Billie Jean is the most exciting rookie presentation they have ever seen in the history of the show. It's too anticipated now. I feel like there's no way it could live up to the expectation. And when you play the clips, it's almost like at the NFL draft when you got the camera on the guy with the phone. You know he's being taken. So when Roger Goodell makes the announcement, it's less exciting to you.
Yeah, 100%. If you look at this is why we do it. Look what I said right there. What does it say right there? Adam Schefter.
Spoiler alert.
I was thinking the same damn thing. Like, stop spoiling it all. Now, when I was on Hard Knocks back in 2010, I wasn't on social media like that. I had Twitter, but I wasn't using like that. So I don't know if they were spoiling like that back then. But I know now it's on everything. It's on Instagram. It's on Twitter. It's on the radio. It's on our show, Streamcast. Like, it's to the point where, can you save something for the show? Can you save something for the show? One thing I do love that I forgot about Hard Knocks, that slow motion, man. That slow motion gets you.
Oh, and then you hear that music and then Liv Schreiber. I mean, it's great. I love it. I'm excited for it, but it just seems so overplayed right now. I feel like I'm seeing all the best parts on social media.
It's almost to the point like it's they're trying to sell people on watching the Detroit Lions versus just having like the Dallas Cowboys when everybody's gonna watch anyway, or when it's the first one, which was the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Well, they just won the Super Bowl. Everybody's gonna watch. Like, it's almost like they're giving all this to kind of sell it. Like, make sure you tune in because it's gonna be dope. And I wonder, does that have something to do with the midseason Hard Knocks last year with the Colts? Because I heard it wasn't as watched as it is in the beginning of the year.
That's because they snuck it in there.
Yeah.
It wasn't, you didn't wait for it. There was only people like me would watch the mid-season version. I told Fletch in the back when I was putting all the sound clips in. I was like, I feel like I've watched the whole show already.
Did you really?
That's what I told Fletch. But here's the kicker. That's what TV does. If you watch America's Got Talent or Dancing with the Stars is the worst for this. If you watch those shows, they show you so many highlights coming in that you already know what's going to happen already. You know that dance is going to fail or that singer is not going to do so well. By the way, shout out, America's Got Talent tonight. Ava Swiss from Oxford High School on the big stage trying to get to the next round. Our good friend Mark Swiskowski, I introduced him to you guys.
That's right.
His daughter Ava has already made it to this round. She's amazing. Good luck to Ava.
Good luck,
Absolutely.
Ava.
But TV, they give you everything up front. You got to learn. I used to fast forward through the previews. I don't want to watch those previews. I just want to watch the show. But we're here in Detroit. So that's why we're paying more attention to this.
Yeah, they do that with everything now. You talked about it, whether it's Avengers movies or whether it's song albums or whether it's TV shows or whatever. Nowadays, they show you everything from the TV, from your streaming service, whatever one you have, probably all of them like me, which I need to get rid of some of them because they start to cost. But then YouTube and then social media, like they show you everything. That's why when there's a movie that I want to go see or there's something coming out, an album, as soon as I see something that may look like it might be referring to what I'm talking about, skip, swipe up. I just don't pay attention.
Now, the clip that so many people are talking about, Jamal Williams was trending yesterday, and this is why. Play it for you now.
Today is the minimum of effort. Do not give up. Do not feel like you're tired. When you tired, think of last year and think of that record. Every time I get tired or I think I can't go no more, I think of that record. Last year wasn't it. That ain't us. We can make it. Have some heart. I get emotional about this. I'm about to cry because I care about y'all. Do your best. Let's go. Lions on 3. 1, 2, 3. Lions.
Hey, as much as I love that, and it gives me chills.
Me too. I got him right now.
Gives me chills. I knew before the minute that Hard Knocks was coming, I said Jamal Williams is going to be the star of this. Yeah. The guy, he's a ham. He's like an actor. He knows where the camera is. That's my only downside. I want to ask you, Braylon, because you've been there.
Yeah.
Did he do that for show?
No, I was going to say, he's an authentic, genuine type of person. He puts who he is out there on display. Whether you're going to talk about him, whether you're going to crack jokes about it, he doesn't care. He's going to unapologetically be himself. So I don't think that was an act. But I'd cry too if I came from 13-3 in the Green Bay Packers to the Detroit Lions last year, 3-13-1. But that's not an act. That's who he was. What did the Green Bay Packers say before the season started last year?
You're right about
What
this.
did it say? They said we can't believe we let him go. Now, he was a bright spot for the Green Bay Packers. People loved him. They loved his energy. It was authentic and it's infectious. So I don't believe that to be an act. Like, those are real tears. Like, some people, you come from places and you see people not working as hard, or you see things can be better, and you appreciate where you've come from because you're like, man, I could have gone down this other path. So guys got to put everything they have, put it forward to try to win games. Like, you get emotional about that. So, I mean, I never was a guy that would cry, but I could speak. But that brother right there, he wears it on the sleeve. Wears his heart on his sleeve. He's very authentic. He's very genuine.
And him being here for a couple of years now, that's who he is.
Yeah.
I mean, if player X did that, these players know who's doing what.
If that was DJ Chark, it would be BS.
Yeah, because that's just not who he is.
Exactly.
Right?
And he wasn't here last year.
But he is full of personality.
Right. So Jamal Williams isn't doing that for the camera, and Bray would be able to tell you, those guys in that huddle, those guys that he's trying to rally, they know who's authentic and who's not. They know who's a real leader and who's a quote-unquote actor, and hopefully they don't have any of those.
Remember your boy Jameis.
Hey, our mics are on.
I hear you.
Yeah, I hear you. I have nothing negative to say about your boy Jameis.
I hit your earphones. Sorry.
Can you bring it up? Bring it up. There you go.
I got nothing negative to say about Jameis Winston. But when he was giving that speech about eating those W's and some of the other things he do, you can see people in the huddle. You can see players look at Jameis like, what the hell is this dude talking? Right. Now, I think he's an amazing dude. Like, after they just talked about his offensive coordinator the other day, and it was great. I think he's going to do well this year. But you can see people tune out. Wasn't nobody tuning out of that huddle breakdown right there. Everybody was locked in. In fact, put their hands in probably a little tighter because they got ready.
And Bray, let's face it, this team needs a group of leaders.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're a young team. They need a group of leaders. So we can talk more about this. Also, what happened today on the field. Dan Campbell at the press conference earlier this morning had some thoughts. We'll play some of those for you. Hard Knocks tonight, 10 o'clock. But first, a message from Academy of Warren.
Academy of Warren is currently enrolling for kindergarten through 8th grade, and it features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, a learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K-8 athletics. Speaking of athletics, Academy of Warren features a brand new state-of-the-art sports Stone Field House that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. It also can be used for 7-on-7 football. Enroll today at academyofwarren.net. That is academyofwarren.net.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
His teammates feed off of him. He's really an energizer bunny for our team. He gets us going. He does offensively, but as the team as well. And I would say what you see is the fact that now he's a year into the program, and the guys know him well. He knows the guys well, and so he's very comfortable now. He did some last year, but now he's truly like embedded in this locker room, and so that's really where you see the transformation taking place.
And that's Dan Campbell talking about Jamal Williams, the transformation. Once you're around, for a little bit, you're a little bit more comfortable. We've seen that with Jared Goff. We've certainly seen that with Jamal Williams. And I think that's something this team needs desperately. You got a ton of young players on this team. You've got a ton of players who have never won in this league. I got 3 guys that are winners. Jamal Williams is a winner, played for the Packers. Michael Brockers and Jared Goff. Right. Who else has won in this league
if you're not talking
on
about
this
college
Lions football team?
Yeah, if you're talking NFL, outside of those guys, not too many. The big thing, too, also with Jamal Williams, with this energy, with this leadership, because that's one of the biggest things we talked about in the last 3 weeks, is who's going to emerge as the leader? Who's going to step up on offense? Who's going to step up on defense? And who's going to be the guy for both sides? Well, it's clear it's Jamal Williams. Mm-hmm. But it takes people a second to follow you, to know if your message is true. Like all last year, this was Jamal Williams last year to a certain extent, but you got a bunch of young guys. They don't know Jamal Williams. They're just learning Jamal Williams. Like, is this extra? Is this who he really is? And it takes you a year. It takes you time to understand the individual and how they are. Now they know that this is him for real. Now guys will follow. Now guys will follow him, or at least listen to him. So I think having that year last year, that bad year, and having him be a part of that bad year and come in with this new energy, not new energy, but same energy refined with better players, I think it's going to take its toll, and you'll see guys follow him. And then you'll see him inspire other guys to want to take that leap and be a leader as well.
Let me ask this question in a different way. Lions fans feel a certain way about the Detroit Lions today. How many Lions fans will, quote-unquote, be drinking the Kool-Aid tomorrow after tonight's episode?
A lot.
Because I think you're going to have a huge influx. I want to tell everybody right now, my prediction for the season is 10-7, 11-6.
You only get one.
Wow, you went up to 11?
Yeah, I found another win.
Oh, my God.
But it will not increase after tonight. It's where it is. I guarantee you.
It can't increase too much past 11-6.
There are 5 and 6 win people out there that after tonight are going to move to 9 or 10 wins.
I know who you found to win against.
Who?
The Patriots.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing. You guys are in sync on that one.
It's too rich.
I knew it.
It might not even be a win. It might be a blowout. No, but that's going to be the case after the episode tonight, man. You'll see bets starting to happen. You'll see people starting to bet. Well, since Adam Schefter spoiled it for us, and we know that it's about Aiden Hutchinson, they're going to show him in his offseason workout. You'll have people betting on him for Defensive Player of the Year. Bet on his sacks being over 7. You'll see a lot of bets starting to happen last night, and that over/under on the season wins is definitely one that people are going to hit tomorrow hard.
There are people out there got him pegged for like 6-11. They watched tonight's episode. 9-8.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Playoffs.
I
want everybody to know that I am there right now.
They all know, Ryan. because you're the only one in town that has said that.
Is that great or what?
I'm sticking with my 7 and 10. I don't care what I see. It's gonna be interesting because the offense got better, but the defense is this is about the same as last year.
Well, they got Jeff Okudah.
He's gonna be good. Like he's gonna be good. But I think the other thing to watch out for is watching the offense go against the defense and watching how they show that slate. Like I don't want them to show like the offense kicking the defense ass too much. Like, I don't want the defense to stop the offense because I expect the offense to be a lot better. I'm interested in watching. This is the biggest matchup I want to see. And yes, it's probably Panay and Aiden, but it's the whole offensive line versus the defensive line. We keep talking about how good this offensive line is going to be because they're going to show the trenches. Mm-hmm. They do a great job of the slow motion, and they talk about the individual battles and the days of practice, etc. I want to see, is that offensive line as good as we say it is with Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, and Panay? On the other side, I want to see, is Charles Harris worth the money we paid him? Is Aiden going to come in? Is he going to have a decent rookie year? Is he going to have a good rookie year? Or is he coming in like, I don't hear nothing about a rookie. I just want to ball and ball out. That's what I'm watching.
Bray, this is so beautiful because you lead me to this thought. For as dominant as we think the Lions' offensive line is, how will you feel if when you watch tonight or when you watch throughout the preseason or Hard Knocks throughout the year, if the defensive line, which is seen as the weakness for the Detroit Lions, if they get to the quarterback a little bit, if they get after that offensive line,
tell them what happened today.
Then we'll know that preseason rank of 26 was true.
Exactly, right? I mean,
Aiden Hutchinson,
Nick Baumgartner
popped Panay
Sewell a couple of times today. Yeah. Took him to the ground a couple of times today, Aiden Hutchinson. And I think it was a Nick Baumgartner tweet that I sent to the group earlier that said week 2, Aiden Hutchinson, Panay Sewell is much more in favor of Aiden Hutchinson than the first week was for Aiden Hutchinson. So we'll see. But, yeah, I mean, if you're talking to me, this is supposed to be your strength. And this is supposed to be your weakness. And this side bangs this side a little bit. Hand gestures aside.
So
I hope to God that offensive line actually dominates the Lions' defensive line. That's what I hope.
So I'm going to find some salt, and I'm going to throw it in that conversation because you got to take it with a grain of salt. And the grain of salt is this. When you're in training camp, you're basically going against the same guys for 30 days. Like you've been going against, if you're a right tackle, you've been going against the left end for 30 days. You know all his moves. You know what he's going to do. So there are going to be times where you just might have a day. It's going to be times where you can be a wide receiver and you can be DJ Chark, and he's supposed to be the guy to take us to the next level. And he's going against Amani Oruwariye. Oruwariye is killing him, shutting him down. When you go against guys for 3 weeks, you legitimately in the same meetings. You're watching the same plays. They're running the same defenses. You see them every day in and out. You know what? Some days you're going to get dominated. That's just the nature of the beast.
There's a scene in there for tonight. Here's a spoiler alert. You got Deuce Staley against Aaron Glenn, and they do some great back and forth talking to each other. They're getting on each other. Deuce Staley wants to run the ball down his throat. Of course, Aaron Glenn's defense wants to stop it. So that's another good thing. I'm really looking forward to seeing this coaching staff. I've been talking about it, and it's a one of a kind. No one else in the NFL has what the Lions have, what they built on this coaching staff, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all of them go.
Yeah, the clip they sent out, and we can't show it for rights violations, but I mean, it looks like Deuce and AG, Aaron Glenn, want to get after each other.
Yeah.
And I mean get after each other. Big time.
That's how it happens on the football field. Like, that's how it happens. Coaches get after it because the players are a representation of coaches and vice versa. So they get in our butts to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be able to do so that we can kill the DBs, because as a wide receiver, we go against the DBs. We hate them. Now, we love them on game day. But throughout the course of the week, we hate them. Like, I wanted to kill Darrelle Reeves. I wanted to kill Antonio Cromartie as it relates to in the field of play. But that's how, and then the coaches start getting after. The coaches start talking stuff. And then you bring the teams together and you get Skelly drills. Now you got other coaches. Now it goes to the linebackers coach. It's now on the side of the D-backs coach. It's on the side of the defensive coordinator. And now they're getting after the offensive coordinator and the wide receivers and the running backs coach. Like, it gets heated. And that's what I'm saying. When you lock men into a 30-day training camp, especially back in the day when it was 2 a days every day, everybody hated everybody. When you lock guys in that room, in that war room, and they're chomping at the bit to get to the first game of the week of the Eagles. Because right now the Lions, they're going against the Eagles right now in their mind. So if Aiden's out there, not Aiden, but if like Jonah Jackson, he thinks he's going against Jordan Davis right now. Like the running backs, DeAndre Stewart, when he picks up a blitz of Gerard Davis, he thinks he's picking up Nakobe Dean. Like, so it is that type of interaction. I'm getting hyped right now talking about it, man. It's football season, man. That's what we do.
No doubt. Guys.
This is so great.
I know. Isn't it fantastic?
Our season's here.
It is. Dan Campbell spoke to the media today regarding the backup quarterback situation.
Really?
How many they're going to carry and who is in the lead. You'll hear from Dan Campbell next. Michigan football, college football coming up, hour number 2 of the program. But first, a message from SMA.
The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health as well as addiction. Sean Jordan, an NFL alumni chapter, do an amazing job. In fact, Sean is partnered with Woodward Sports, and he's come up with This is the F Word, a podcast about fentanyl and other addictions as well as mental health and illness. Talking about having a conversation. They just want to provide you information, have the conversation. If you or someone that you know needs that help, go to thesportsma.com. Once again, that's thesportsma.com. They provide so much information. Go check it out.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog in Novi. Just stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will print you one on the spot. So go to Big Frog Novi today and get your free t-shirt or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi. That is bigfrog.com/Novi.
Big Frog.
I think most of it comes down to what else is on our roster. That's what it's going to come down to. Are you keeping a quarterback 3 versus a stud special teams player, or somebody that is going to play 30 snaps for you on defense? He'll be a critical role player, or what? I think that's what it's going to come down to, honestly.
That was Dan Campbell. How many quarterbacks will he keep?
2.
You think he's going to keep them both?
Yeah. What he just said? Absolutely.
See, I got that. Blau and Boyle, neither one of them are any good. And if Goff has to miss any time whatsoever, that the Lions will not win one game this year.
Unless they go out and get somebody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With either one of these guys. So,
but the way he talked, he'd rather have a guy that a stud on special teams or a guy that's going to give him 30 snaps a game. That ain't a backup quarterback.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. He's going to keep 2.
Yeah.
Goff and one other.
Right.
Oh.
That's all I meant.
Okay, so I
complete.
misunderstood what you were saying. Yes, he will keep 2 quarterbacks,
That's
Goff and one other one.
Yeah, because basically you should just keep one.
Okay, I thought we were disagreeing the whole day.
I did too.
Well, I disagree with both of you guys. Why do you only keep one quarterback after that? Jared Goff goes down. You cool with one of the other guys?
No.
Everywhere I've ever been, they've kept 3 quarterbacks and they had 2 on practice squad. Everywhere.
Well, practice squad's different.
Yeah, but 3 and then 2 on practice squad. Everywhere I've been thus far.
I don't think they're going to do 3. I don't think they have 2 guys that you keep.
I think the game's changed a little bit too, in the respect that
not injuries.
Well, a guy like Matthew Stafford has played like 8 straight years of 16 games. Dak Prescott, I think,
He's missed a lot of games.
But prior, they had the Red Rifle there, Andy Dalton, and that was it. So because
Jameis went down, by the way, and Dalton had to come in.
Stop it.
Yeah. Jameis got a high ankle sprain.
Oh, man. Hate that for him. Love Jameis Winston.
Some people just can't. Oh, man. Some people can't buy a break, man. I feel bad. Speaking of buying a break, Kai Beckton's another guy.
Yeah, and that's a guy we'll talk about in just a little bit. But back to these backups for a second. They don't win with either one of them. And even today, Dan Campbell, here you go, talking about who has separated themselves from this competition. Doesn't sound like either one of them have.
Yeah, I mean, I think that both of them can do it. I think they're both different in what they do. Blau's a little scrappier. He's more of the man. He's going to find a way, and that's what he's about. But he can certainly run the offense. I think Bull's got all the gifts, all the traits, and then he's just consistently doing it. And I think that he's got to do this in the preseason games. Let's see where he's progressed from last year.
Hey, Scrappy Doo.
Whenever I hear Scrappy, I'm like, that guy can't play. He'll fight, he'll scrounge, he'll scrape, but you're not looking for a scraper to win your game.
And I tell Braylon, the word scrappy is usually meant for a white guy with no talent. He just tries real hard. I mean, because it's true, right? I mean, God gives me everything he's got, but he's no good.
He's scrappy, but you keep him around because you like him, because he gives you everything he has, man. He's a guy that you can depend on. He's a leader sometimes, but also he ain't winning no games.
Right. So
maybe they can only keep one quarterback. Have I heard that?
Make Swift
emergency QB.
Exactly. No doubt about it. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a guy that whoever is playing quarterback,
he's going to catch it.
Absolutely. The guy just simply, I think it was after the second week of the season, 0 drops after week 2 and had over 100 targets too. Really works hard, is a perfectionist, and there is no such thing as a perfect player, but he's striving for that. Dan Campbell recognizes that as well. Shared that with the media earlier today.
It says he wants to be the best. That's what it says. Like, he can't get enough competition. And he's the type of guy that even if he didn't want to do something, if you just roll the ball out there, he can't help himself. He's going to want to win and compete and be the best at it. He never wants to take a rep where he gets embarrassed or he loses. That's just the way he's wired. And, I mean, that's why we love him.
Yeah, he's that type of player. Ben Johnson said earlier this week, Ben Johnson was asking about Amon-Ra St. Brown. He said he talked to Amon-Ra St. Brown about goal setting back when the season was over in January, and then they talked again in the spring. And Amon-Ra St. Brown came to him and said, listen, I'm going to be the best yards after catch receiver in the NFL. Like, that's going to be my target for this year. I want to pick in something every year. I want to get better at something every year. I want to give all my focus. I want to work on my craft like always. But there's going to be something I'm going to go after. He said, Coach, I'm going to be the best yards after catch receiver, and I don't think he's far off. He catches that's how you become a great player, is doing and finiting the small things. And that's what you saw last year. Now that he's going after yards after catch, he gave us a little insight. He said he worked on his speed this year. Because he's not a burner, but he can run. He's not a burner. He said he worked on his speed, with a track coach as well, did some extra plyo drills and things of that nature this offseason. So look for that to be the new addition to his game. Because just like we talked about with this bevy of receivers now, he won't get, 120 targets when Jameson Williams gets healthy, when DJ Charker's out there and other ones. But he will get touches. So now he's got to find that way to give you that little bit extra. And what that little extra can be, if I'm now getting 80 touches and not 100, well, when I do catch one, I can give you an extra 12 yards. Or I can get you extra 8 yards or maybe get you extra 40. So got to love his competition, his competitiveness.
Bray, how do you work on your speed? I know you said plyo, but explain that to a fat guy.
Well, first of all, you get your fat ass off the couch. No, I'm joking. I won't talk about you. I'm talking about fat. Now you got me laughing at that, though. Plyos are hamstring, glute, quad-based jumps, drills, etc. Squat, like power cleans, Olympic lifts, box jumps, jumping over box jumps, things like that. They increase explosion in your glutes because you run from the power in your legs. You run from your glutes, you run from your quads, you run from your hamstrings and calves. Plyos increase the muscle mass in all of those spaces. You look at somebody's leg like Saquon Barkley, which is natural.
Tree trunks.
Him and A.J. Dillon, but that's where their power comes from. That's why they can do things like stop on the dime and cut and plant. So if you want to get faster, you work on the track. You run 40s, short distance stuff, not this mile stuff. I used to get in trouble with Mike Gittleson all the time when I was in Michigan. Because everybody, what did they said for years about the Big Ten? We're slow. Outside Ohio State, they're like, the Big Ten's slow. It's like when we play SEC or blah, blah, like, we know we're going to beat them with speed. Mike Gilson always have us run a mile and a half and all these long stuff. I said, Mike, why are we not running 40s? Why aren't we running 100s? Why aren't we running 20s and shovels and quick stuff? So you work with a track coach, you work with a speed coach on the short stuff that you're going to be actually doing. Because you will run 40 yards in a game. You will run 80 yards in a game. If you're lucky, you can run 100. You will run a bunch of 20 yards. So you got to work on the speed, burst, and plyo-mechanics.
That's Tyreek Hill's game.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he's not running a mile and a half anytime soon.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I was like, why are we training like the University of Miami? Why are we training like 1978?
Exactly. One of the things about Amon-Ra that I'm interested in is just to see how he reacts to not getting the ball as much, right? Because, I mean, he got every ball last year that was thrown. Pretty much. They had nobody else until Josh Reynolds came later in the season. You don't hear his name a lot because you're hearing about DJ Chark a lot. You're hearing about the guy that's not even in uniform right now, Jamison Williams. I'll be curious to see how he, reacts to that a little bit. When you're used to getting the ball and then you don't get as many.
Are you talking Josh? Are you talking Josh or Amon-Ra?
Amon-Ra.
One, he seems like and he sounds like he seems like the team, the consummate team individual. He seems like what's best for the team, what's best for himself, as it relates to mixing in with the team. So I don't think it's going to bother him too much if he's put in a situation where somebody is legitimately separated themselves, like DJ Chark has separated himself as that guy, then he'll gladly play second until Jamison Williams comes in and separates himself. But if nobody separates themselves from Amon-Ra St. Brown, then he might have a problem. But it won't be to the end of the season because he's a team guy. That's at least what the vibe I'm getting off him.
Also, when you're winning, if you're winning, none of this stuff matters. It only matters if you're not winning.
Like Lloyd said, when you're winning, everybody wins.
That's right.
Hey, we forgot a guy that we never really mentioned. Last year, we all rooted for him. Well, Khalif Raymond for sure, but remember good old Tom Kennedy?
He'll get cut.
He's still on this team.
Yeah, but he'll get cut. I mean, if you keep 6 wide receivers, Chark, Jamison, Amon-Ra, Cephas, Khalif, and Josh Reynolds. Yeah. There's your 6.
I know.
I mean, unless you keep 5 receivers, if Jamison Williams goes on PUP, you can keep an extra one, I guess, at the start of the year, or you could keep somebody else. Keep 5 wide receivers and then another position.
And the practice squad, they gave you extra players last year, so that he might be a practice squad guy.
Scrappy.
Yeah.
Loved Scrappy Tom Kennedy.
Scrappy Tom Kennedy. Guys, I want to take a break. I want to go around the NFL next, if we could. Some things going on there. We'll talk about it. But first, a message from the Folding Warehouse.
That's right. I got one of those special pins right here in front of me. Get down to the Folding Warehouse at Hamtramck. Ask for Chris Hunt. Tell him Maz and the guys sent you down there from Woodward Sports. It's a great game, football and bowling. My 2 favorite games put together. 2 ways to play: $12 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation for $120. But you're gonna have 10 or 12 people on it, so it runs you only less than $10 per person.
Only $10
for 2 hours. 2 hours and less than $10 a person. How about that bar? Order any drink you want. How about the beers? They have over 100 beers to offer, plus the $2 mystery beer machine. Bring your own food in or have it delivered. Plenty of room to enjoy yourself. Get your fold on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Ciabattas, summer salads. It's a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar, all on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Planet Fitness is inviting all high school teens between the ages of 14 and 19 to work out for free all summer long via the High School Summer Pass, and it goes all the way until August 31st. Planet Fitness is home of the Judgment-Free Zone, where you can work out at a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere with membership starting at only $10 a month.
Only $10?
Or you can get the black card for $24.99. Join today in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Essential.
I'll tell you what. After eating these amazing cookies that my boy Adam brought in, I'm gonna have to get back to Planet Fitness and work this cookie.
Gotta
off.
do it, Bray.
Adam Morency, thank you.
I'm not a big cookie guy, man, but oatmeal raisin, it does it for me, man.
That's what it does it for you?
The oatmeal raisin does it for me.
Cookies are the best dessert, if you ask me. Hands down,
Better
the
than pie?
best.
Better than pie? Like key lime pie, cheesecake, and
that's
apple?
tough. That's tough.
You said it.
Yeah, I think I would take a cookie.
I'm a pie guy.
Look to the cookie, as Jerry Seinfeld would say.
Look to the cookie.
Look to the cookie, especially the black and white cookie back in New York. The best.
I was gonna go somewhere with that as a joke.
He did as well.
But you know what? I'm gonna stay away. You don't have to touch all the jokes. I'm gonna leave that joke alone.
There's nothing like the black and
white cookie.
That's right.
Very good. All right, Mads, what do you got? Let's go around the NFL, will we?
You got it, man. Here we go. Guys, I need your answers to this question here first. Let's start it off with the NFL. They say Aaron Rodgers' use of this, let's see, ayahuasca, I think it's called. It didn't, the NFL says that did not violate the drug policy. What do you make of that?
Usually I love to go against Aaron Rodgers because he's just so easy to go against. But on this one, the NFL does have a Bible-sized book of things that are illegal in the NFL. And if ayahuasca isn't on that list, if it's not on that list, then by all means, I have no problem with that. The only interesting thing was, it'd be funny if Cam Newton came out and said something like this. The backlash for Cam Newton, and I'm not making it a black and white thing.
No, it's a fact.
I'm making it about like individuals like people don't like. Everything Cam Newton does, people just hate. So I wonder if Cam Newton would came out and said, you know what, I tried this ayahuasca to really expand my mind, and it took me places, it would say, oh, well, that's why you're a bum now.
Because ayahuasca is defined as a psychoactive beverage. It's like a psychedelic.
That's drugs.
It's drugs.
Last time I checked, that's drugs.
And it's a beverage that's native to South America, often used for religious or medicinal purposes.
Like the journey, like a trip.
Absolutely. Rodgers took this in the 2020 offseason before his third of 4 MVPs. Said he really didn't even give it much thought at all as to whether or not that would violate the league's substance abuse policy or the league's performance-enhancing drug policy.
Yeah.
But it didn't. The NFL says, nope, that's okay. Wouldn't have triggered a response. So he believes it helped him with all of his success in 2021 and 2022.
That's
yeah,
his zen.
It's zen, yeah. Very good.
Joey 2 times on YouTube says, look for it next year on the illegal banned substances.
Hey, 100%.
Well
I will say that. Well said, Tony.
Remember Andrew Steendion? Remember? Andrew?
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't they throw that on the list after they found it?
They did.
They did after the season.
Right.
Like after the home run chase season.
Yeah.
That's another reason why Mark turned down that $20 million deal the following year. In 1998, they offered him, what was it, 99? They offered him $20 million. He was like, no, y'all ban my stuff. I'm good. I'm retiring.
I don't blame him. All right, here we go. Question number 2. It's not a real question, but this is sad, man, for Jet fans and for this kid. An MRI today on Mekhi Becton, the former number 1 pick, offensive tackle for the Jets. He suffered an avulsion fracture of the right knee and will miss the entire season. Braylon, I'll start with you. How does an injury like this affect the team, not only on the field, but in the locker room? And this happened to the kid last year, too, after game 1, and now after freaking practice week number 1. he's done for the year.
So he's a super cool kid. Had a really good first year. Last year wasn't so lucky, and now he gets hurt again. I think and it's going to affect the Jets because they were looking for their first round draft pick with him and Quano. They were looking for those guys to really make a staple and block for Zach Wilson, to allow Zach Wilson to have time to go to Elijah Moore, have time to go to Garrett Wilson. So that is going to hurt. But what I would say is this. Mekhi Becton is 6'7", 365 pounds. 6'7", 365. You have to take care of your body. You can't put that much weight on your knees. You can't continuously play it that way. The older you get, the more pounding, the more pressure, the more jumping, the more bounding, the more stepping in your stance. That stuff consistently puts pressure on your body, and that's a big weight. That's too much weight. So I think if I was him, I would try to find a way to get down to 330 and have the same power that I was able to possess at 365, or maybe even down to 320. Because the days of the huge guys like that, outside of Jordan Davis, on offensive line, guys aren't playing offensive line no more past 318. They're just not doing it because it puts too much wear and tear on your body over there. So what I would tell him is find a way to get down in the offseason this year to get back to be able to play, because 365, 6'7", that's a lot of damn weight, Ryan.
No doubt about it. And I think this is a very big deal for the Jets organization. Not only for Mekhi Becton, but for the Jets as a whole and Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Look, you have a second-year quarterback here that Zach Wilson's a left-handed quarterback, isn't he? I think Zach Wilson's a left-handed quarterback.
Yes.
So Becton being the right tackle
is more important.
That's like the left tackle going out for a right-handed quarterback. And I think that does hinder the development of Zach Wilson a little bit. And in this day and age where you have a player like Joe Burrow essentially going to the Super Bowl in his rookie season, I know it was his second year, but a year after his injury, season-ending injury, last year was like his first year playing football essentially. And you got to make that big jump. You look at these second-year quarterbacks, the Lawrence kid, Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, Zach Wilson, players who went 1-2 in their respective drafts. Man, you got to have a huge jump. Otherwise, I mean, they'll be looking for your replacement really soon. So I think it's a big deal.
And that's just the way of the NFL. That's just the way they're going. You see, Andrew Whitworth talked about it when he was interviewed on his retirement. He talked about how was he able to play for so long? How was he able to play for 18 years? He said, look, man, I started losing that weight, that big guy that I was at LSU when I first got to the Cincinnati Bengals. I noticed that it was hindering my body shape. It was hindering my knees and how my joints felt. He said, so I started losing weight a long time ago. Look at Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is another monster guy. Your guy out of Georgia, up there with the Philadelphia Eagles. He talked about how his diet process has been from the time they drafted him till now to lose weight. Jordan Davis is now fluctuating around 320 when he was 355, 360 last year. All that weight is eventually going to catch up to you. So it's best to get it off earlier in your career as opposed to later before it does damage.
They might go after Andrew Whitworth. How about lobbing a call into him if you're the Jets?
Hell no.
No?
I just retired from winning the Super Bowl, and I could have came back and potentially won another Super Bowl. And now I'm going to take steps back with the New York Jets. With all due respect, Woody Johnson, no thank you.
Here's one from
money, sir.
Here's one from Nicholas Duncan on YouTube. I love this. You ready for this break? Yep. Let's get Mike White and trade them an offensive lineman.
Oh, that's your boy.
That's
right
our
there.
guy. Mike White,
Mike
the backup
White,
at the Jets.
450.
Love that kid.
The largest debut of a rookie quarterback ever in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
455.
I'm telling you, he's got talent, man. He's going to make somebody happy. All right, let's get moving on. The NFL has asked on-field officials to focus on illegal contact fouls during the 2022 season. So how difficult will it be to play defense now? You can't already touch a quarterback, and now they're going to get you for touching anything.
Explain that to me again.
So the illegal contact on a defensive player to the quarterback.
Gotcha.
If that ball is not in the hand of the quarterback, officials are to look at that and penalize it. And there is no wiggle room. Last year there was a significant drop from the year prior in that penalty realm. So again, you can't touch these quarterbacks. I mean, you're going to see a lot of people up in arms over this, I think.
They're trying to get you to your 6,000 yards, Ryan.
That's right.
They're trying to get you there. All we've talked about in the last year in the NFL, last couple years, to be honest, I guess Patrick Mahomes really kind of sparked that conversation, even Deshaun Watson. It's the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks. You got to have one of these quarterbacks. How great are these young quarterbacks? Oh, my God. The stable of quarterbacks in the NFL is the best it's ever been. Well, you know what? You got to protect them. And I think now that's what they want to do. They want to protect them ultimately. So these quarterbacks have lengthy careers. They want these quarterbacks to go into 12, 13, 14, 15 years. So that's the way to protect them.
And the illegal contact penalty is a 5-yard penalty, but it is an automatic first down. How many third down calls that are incomplete where defensive tackle or a defensive end finally get to the quarterback, graze the guy, and that is going to be an automatic first down?
It's going to suck.
That will suck.
Sucks.
It will change outcomes of games. And I'm fine with it if you allow this to be a reviewable play. If you should now allow personal foul penalties, and I know they do on the targeting, but personal foul penalties, illegal contact, those should now be reviewable plays because they have such an impact on the game, every bit as much as, somebody catching a ball or not.
Yeah, we call those bailouts. And the teams that are bad,
it's a turnover.
100%. The teams that are bad, the teams that are undisciplined, we talked about discipline yesterday. The teams that are undisciplined, they're just about to be even worse this year because those things happen out of lack of discipline, going after the guy, knowing the ball's been released, but still in that weird kind of finite space. Yeah, it's about to get ugly for guys that are.
Look, you're letting these referees make another judgment call. Come on, man. It's a disaster.
The referees,
that's a disaster.
Referees in every sport are getting on my nerve. How many times have I come here, Maz, and talked about umpires?
Yeah.
Like and I know this is switching gears to baseball, but watching umpires, they're deciding games. They're kicking wrong people out. They're kicking fans out in every league, the professional level as well. I'm like, why are we giving these guys so much power? Like, what happened to turn them to this point where now they're deciding games, they're deciding moments? Like, I don't know. It's out of control.
It's disgraceful. Guys, we'll get back into the NFL in just a little bit. I want to switch gears, go to college football next if we could. Michigan 6th, MSU 14th in the USA Today coaches poll. A couple other aspects about that poll as a whole. And the Big Ten is leaving ESPN for the first time in 40 years. Games will not be broadcast on ESPN. Where they're going, what it means for Notre Dame, and more. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. It is no secret that new cars are hard to come by, but they are available at Les Stanford. Got to make a plan, though. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles. Les Stanford also has over 300 pre-owned cars on their lot right now. All makes, all models, all years. Some with less than 500 miles on it. For more, visit LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. Find new roads. Find them.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Hey, guess what? We're getting closer and closer and closer to the NFL season. We're excited. We've been doing all kinds of drafts. We've been talking fantasy sports. We've been talking all kinds of stuff over there at 4:30 at the Woodward Bets YouTube page. Hey, you also got to get over to that app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, the best place to check all the odds at the sports books right in the palm of your hands. But hey, let's get to some winners. We need some fun coupons. I know one thing we should be always attacking are them unders in that Tiger game. That's what we're rolling with here tonight. Under with Bieber pitching for the Indians. Sounds good to me. Woodward Bets, oddstrader.com. Check it out.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
At Alta.
Alta.
Uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Have a big project coming up? Alta Rent has you covered. Give them a call today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That is 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Alta. Guys, I want to do a little college football for you if we could. Yesterday, the coaches poll came out, USA Today coaches poll. Never liked that poll to begin with because it was the one that robbed the University of Michigan in 1997.
Tom
That's
Osborne.
Right. Phil Fulmer.
Congratulations.
Let me ask you a question before. Do coaches still vote in the coaches poll?
I think what they do is they have their SID vote.
Okay.
I think that's what happens. It's called the coaches poll, but the coach usually passes it off to somebody in the organization, for lack of a better word. Like for Michigan, I guarantee you Jim Harbaugh does not place that vote. I bet it's Dave Abloff or somebody on a lower, a grad assistant. Somebody like that.
I bet you Jim Harbaugh is voting on it as it relates to Michigan State and Ohio State, though.
Yeah, right.
He's picking those spots.
I'm sure it's approved by the head coach.
Yeah.
How about that?
I agree.
How about approved by the head coach? But again, let's throw the poll up if we could. Alabama number 1, Ohio State number 2, Georgia number 3. Not a lot of people talking about Georgia this year. Clemson at 4, Notre Dame at 5, Michigan 6, A&M at 7. Then you have Utah, Oklahoma. I love Oklahoma every year. Top 10 is just so rich, and they've got some problems there at Oklahoma.
Yeah,
already they've got some real problems at Oklahoma. The longtime assistant coach there, Mike Gundy's brother.
Yeah, 21, 23, 24 years.
Yeah, he's the longest tenured coach.
Oh man.
Yeah, picked up the iPad or tablet of some player, read some words off there that were racially charged words that he probably shouldn't have said. So he resigned or got fired. Brent Venables said one part about this. Now Gundy's daughter is coming at Venables. I mean, it's a disaster already.
Shocking. Gundy said some racial things. Shocking about that. The interesting thing about this coaches poll this year with Michigan and Michigan State. Let's stay in the state for a second, Ryan. MSU's their over and under is at 7.5, right? And then Michigan's over under is at 9.5. So it's interesting that Michigan State is ranked 14 in the coaches poll, but their over under is 7.5. That means over under 7.5. If you win 8 games, that means you lost 4.
Right.
Guarantee you're not going to be ranked 14.
You're not going to be ranked.
Exactly. Or you'll be ranked in that 20, 23, that 22 to 25. At Michigan, their over under is 9.5. You win 10 games. You might still can sneak a 6, depending on the year. Last year, no. Last year maybe not, but it's just an interesting space for that. What do you make of 14 for Michigan State? Because I'm fine with 6 for Michigan.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of respect for the head coach there and the program that he's run through a couple of seasons in East Lansing. I think that's a reflection of Mel Tucker, and I think for a lot of people at Michigan State, we get no respect. The Rodney Dangerfield of college football.
No respect.
I think you can throw that out the window because I think Mel Tucker does command respect, and I think that's why they're 14th in this poll. I would more be in line with what Vegas says than what the coaches say.
100%.
So I would tend to think 7, 8, 9 wins for Michigan State.
Yeah.
Or to use a line from Maz, if Vegas says 7.5 wins, it's either 7, 8, or 9.
No, if it's 7.5, you got 6 or 8.
6, 7, or 8.
Yes,
that's right.
That's
if it's
it.
7.5,
that's your only choice.
You got 6, 7, or 8 wins, and there's nothing more than that.
Yeah,
so the coaches, though, they like Mel Tucker.
I agree with you, and I think they look at it from this standpoint. Last year, nobody gave Michigan State or Michigan a chance in hell. Michigan State was ranked 42 last year going to the season, and Michigan was at 33 or 34. And you see how they both ended the year. Now, it's a lot of differences. There's no longer K9 on that side for Michigan State. Offensive line, still a huge question mark. And then secondary, how can Mel Tucker get that secondary together this year? But the one thing you got to have to win, you gotta have a stud at quarterback. Peyton Thorne's a returning stud. You gotta have a person to throw the ball to. Well, Jay Regan's coming back as well. So, not to mention Trey Mosley. I think Michigan State could do some damage this year.
Is Peyton Thorne a stud in college football, or is he a Big Ten stud?
Big Ten stud.
Yeah, because we have seen Big Ten quarterbacks
Big Ten stud.
not very good.
Well, there's only one team that has stud quarterbacks that translate over to all conferences, and that's Ohio State. Nobody else has stud quarterbacks. Wisconsin, just a guy. Iowa is just a guy. Michigan, love him to death, just a guy.
Purdue's good.
David Blau's just a guy.
No, the Purdue kid now.
Addison.
What's that Purdue kid's name?
Aiden O'Connell.
Yes, Aiden O'Connell. That's a stud.
But see, that's one thing that Purdue does, though. Purdue will find you a quarterback.
Drew Brees, the last
but he was
good
great.
quarterback in the NFL out of the Big Ten. Wasn't he? I mean,
got me.
Think of Big Ten quarterbacks in the NFL.
Kirk Cousins. Got him again.
Okay, but Kirk Cousins was a 4th-round draft pick too. I mean, I don't think there's been a 1st-round.
Ohio State.
Dwayne Haskins.
And Dwayne Haskins.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Either way, they're very few.
Yeah,
you're talking Dwayne Haskins, Drew Brees, and 1st-round Big Ten quarterbacks.
Oh no, none of those.
Think about that.
Art Schlichter?
No, think about that. 1st-round Big Ten quarterbacks. It don't happen. Drew Brees.
But you know why? It's because it started. You know what it is.
You got Fields.
It's a ground.
Justin Fields.
There we go. How we forget. You got ground and pound conference. That once the weather hits in October, they're not passing the ball like that anymore unless they really have to. Meanwhile, they are slinging that rock. It sounds like a Biggie back in the day rap song. But they're slinging the rock in the Pac-12. They're slinging the rock in the SEC and the Big 12 all year long. It's just different. It's just different conferences.
So everybody's saying Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was not a 1st-round pick. He was a 3rd-round pick. So
but it's the last stud,
I mean, it just doesn't happen for the Big Ten. But Fields, I guess. So you got 2 Ohio State quarterbacks and Drew Brees. I mean, that's how far this conference has fallen in terms of quarterback play.
But that O'Connell kid could be the real deal for Purdue.
Maybe.
I never place a lot of stock in Purdue. Like, Purdue's one of those schools, like, they're going to give you a great moment every year. Like, they're going to give you that moment. Like Rondale Moore for the Arizona Cardinals, Bell last year. Like, they're going to give you some players, and they're going to give you some great moments. Beating Ohio State, which they seem to do better than anybody. Beat Ohio State, they'll do something like that. But then the quarterbacks will go up and down and be inconsistent. David Blau was going against Elijah Sindelar, and Elijah Sindelar threw for 500 yards one game, came back and threw for 172, got benched. David Blau went out there, 335, came back with 185. Purdue, you never can put full stock and faith in.
And I agree, but back to that Michigan State point, Michigan State's getting a ton of respect, and you can't say that they're not. I mean, they're 20 votes away from being a top 12 team. They've got more votes than USC, and I think a lot of people would say that USC has a shot to be in the college football playoff this year. The University of Miami, they've got more votes than them. A lot of people believe that the University of Miami could be a dark horse out of the ACC.
That's what you were talking about.
To be in the college football playoff. So, I don't think you get to play that we don't get any respect card anymore.
And remember last year, both Michigan and Michigan State were unranked. And they did pretty good.
I think so as well. Television deal is up on ESPN. I want to see if that has any significance for you guys at all.
It does.
College football is changing, and we are along for the ride. No more ESPN for the Big Ten. What do you think of it? We'll discuss. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win the car of your dreams from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. No appointment necessary. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new Field House. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
OddsTrader.com is the #1 site for your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price for every game from multiple sportsbooks. That's right, multiple sportsbooks. The players you want to bet on, the yards you want to bet they have, the home runs, and the list goes on. OddsTrader simply does it the best. The championships that you want to bet on ahead of time. Get those odds right now. Go to OddsTrader.com.
Guys, some big-time television news regarding the Big Ten Conference. Let's throw these tweets up just one at a time here, if you would, Fletch. I think this is a big deal. I mean, because college football so much is synonymous with the announcers of the game. Keith Jackson, Brent Musburger, now Chris Fowler, all of which ABC, ESPN. Big Ten finalizing media rights deal with Fox Sports, CBS, and NBC. Unless there's a last-minute change of heart, which there was not. First time in 40 years, Big Ten football and basketball games will not be played on ESPN. I mean, you're talking about a $350 million deal per year to be broadcast on CBS.
Yep, ESPN made it official today, and we can put that tweet up as well, Fletch, that they will not be a player in this deal. And to me, it makes me very sad because I particularly like that stable of broadcasters on ESPN and ABC. I'm not a fan of NBC's at all. At all. Yeah. I mean, Mike Tirico can't do every game. Okay? He can't do every single game. Who else do they have?
Well, they'll get everybody now. They'll get everybody. ESPN is going down the toilet.
No way.
I mean, they just are.
But then they also offered the deal was 7 less games and double the money that they're paying now. So the deal was an interesting one. Kevin Warren, shout out to him. He put the cheese on the table and made him take the deal. But the only thing, think about this: they will get NBC, or they're going to get Fox. Right?
Yeah, Fox is the number one.
Right. They'll be Fox.
Fox is still the main partner.
Do you remember Michigan State and the Michigan State-Michigan game last year? Who all was in East Lansing? Fox was there, and ESPN was there. So they'll still get ESPN Game Day. They still can get the game of the week, because the game of the week they pick. They get the game of the week. It has nothing to do with who has the rights. They pick game of the week.
You're talking about for game day.
Yes.
Yes.
So you'll still see ESPN doing work with the Big Ten, but Fox broadcast last year were great and were stellar for the Big Ten. It took us to a whole new stratosphere. You see the Michigan-Ohio State game. You see the Michigan State game. Those games, and then Ohio State-Michigan State game. Those guys did big numbers, and the Penn State-Michigan game. The Fox is doing good things.
ESPN, you say, is going down the toilet. You're wrong. They went all in on the NFL. They went heavy. They're getting a Super Bowl. They're back in the NFL game, big time. Monday Night Football now has the flex schedule. They got Joe Buck, Troy Aikman. They just went in a different direction. Ooh. They're still going to have games. You might get a Big Ten game on ESPN, but it ain't going to be at their home. Am I right? Maybe a crossover game?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It depends who they have a deal with, right?
But ESPN ain't going down the tubes,
all right,
bro.
down the toilet might be a little bit be harsh.
They're
but
all in.
I asked you guys, do you guys watch any shows on ESPN?
No, I don't.
No, I don't either.
They killed it.
Who are they going after? I watch one show on ESPN.
They're going after women.
I watch Get Up, and if they don't have like the 3 people I want to watch, I turn it off. That's it. Just Get Up.
I mean, think about that. That's a sad thing. If they don't got Tom Mazawey, they're going down the toilet. For lack of a better
They
way.
have me for like PTI and stuff like that, but I don't tune in. It's not. I'm not going to it anymore. If there's no game on it that I'm interested in, I'm off.
I put it to you this way. I don't watch ESPN after 12 o'clock. Like, so I may tune in. Like, if I get in early, sometimes it's on. We might watch First Take sometime only if Jay Will is on, and then Get Up. I'll watch Get Up.
Get Up's good.
I like Get Up. Get Up, I think is good. Anything past 12 o'clock. No, thank you. I don't turn ESPN 100%. You get crickets out of me. I'm not turning ESPN on. To Maz's point, after 12, or to your point, right after 12 o'clock.
All right, let me get the discussion back on track, because I don't want it to be an ESPN bash session, because that's not what it's intended to be. And either way,
they're still the first channel I put on. And if I don't like what I see, I turn it off right away.
That's fair.
That's what I do.
Okay, fair enough. As it relates to college football, and I know everybody out there, if you know it, if you don't know it, I work for Fox as well, okay? But I have said this for 2 years now. Fox Big Noon Kickoff is a better show than ESPN College Game Day.
100%.
And I have found myself over the last 2 years gravitating towards Big Noon Kickoff more so than College Game Day. Also, CBS. It is hard to do college football better than what CBS has done over the last decade and a half because of the SEC.
Yeah, exactly.
They have had the SEC. They have always had the biggest games. Now, the question that I have for you guys is this. The fact that ESPN is out now, does this mean that the night games are out in the Big Ten?
Wow.
Because Fox is the main broadcast sponsor of Big Ten football. Their big game is at noon. CBS is paying $350 million for the 3:30 window. So the 3:30 window now belongs to Big Ten and CBS. What about the 8 o'clock window? Who wants to be on that 8 o'clock window? Is that the NBC portion of it? So you go Notre Dame at 2:30 and then some rando Big Ten night game?
I think so. Don't they still have? They don't have the SEC anymore at all.
But I thought,
they do.
But let me ask this question. This is why I said you'll still see Big Ten games on ESPN Game of the Week, because it doesn't matter. Like, that game of the week is slotted for ESPN, as I understand it.
No. Done.
So that's taken off the table.
Yes.
But so they're done with what? Just college football in general?
Done with Big Ten college football. So they'll go after probably Big 12.
But I thought the game of the week is different, because they have SEC games on, Pac-12 games on. It doesn't Big 12 games on. It's something about this, and I could be wrong. I got to do some homework, so forgive me out there if I come off a little ignorant. When you watch it, they have every conference on in that slot, that game of the week. That game of the week on Saturday has nothing to do with ESPN's individual deal with the Big Ten, I do believe. So I think you still can see, depending on what Big Ten team is playing, if Ohio State is playing Michigan,
that game will never be on.
It's an early game.
It'll always be on Fox.
Okay, Penn State, Michigan. The whiteout games. There you go. Penn State, Michigan, or Ohio State, Iowa.
That'll now be a CBS or an NBC game. But after this year.
Or Fox.
Fox, CBS, NBC. That's the new pecking order.
Jesse Adams saying on here that CBS, the SEC is leaving CBS after this year.
Maybe they go to ESPN.
That's what I mean. Then the SEC probably goes there.
But how about this?
Okay.
Gary
Appreciate
Danielson calling Big Ten games once again, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
And Brad Nessler.
That would be great.
That's one hell of a duo.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, they're the best.
They are great.
That is one hell of a duo. I don't know. I could geek out on this stuff all day long.
I just don't like the NBC broadcasters. So you're telling me they're going to go and pillage ESPN now?
Well, it depends, I guess. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do, but maybe there's some new people too.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
Like, how about we love Kevin Burkhardt
We do.
And Kevin Kugler and guys like this.
phenomenal.
I think these guys are great. You know, we would have never found those guys. They're all virtually brand new.
Change is coming, man.
At least I don't have to hear Pam Ward and Beth Mowens anymore doing the Big Ten game.
There you go.
That's not for me.
Good for you, Baz.
Okay, I'll take the hit.
Good for you, Jack.
I'll take the hit. I think Matt is trying to
because I don't even put those games on. Okay.
We better get to a break before Baz gets canceled.
Don't take me with you.
Anywho, I do want to talk a little NBA if I could, Bray.
I appreciate
Kevin Durant giving the Nets an ultimatum. He now says he'll stay. But you got to get rid of the general manager. You got to get rid of the coach. What in the world is going on?
He had the coach hired.
In the NBA. He had him
hired.
He had the coach hired. And he acted as the general manager because he signed half these guys. He didn't sign Kyrie.
He's the worst. No, because Kyrie came and then Kyrie bought Kevin Durant and James Harden. He walked them too. So.
It's coming. Let's go stay on break. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
The Nets will never win an NBA championship.
You got to hear this story about Ben Simmons too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Man, let's go.
Ben Simmons likes Chili Peppers Tanning. Do you know that?
Yeah, he does.
He does. He joined the Pepper Club too, because if you join the Pepper Club, you're going to save $5 on unlimited tanning. Plus, you get the cleanest salons in the D, and you get to meet the Chili Pepper Girls. That's right. For the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. Check it out at chilipepperstanning.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Ciabatta's summer salads and hand dip shakes, all at Big Boy. Why don't you guys get out there and try a chicken club, a chicken cordon bleu, or a sunrise ham and cheddar, all on that delicious ciabatta bread. Or keep it light.
Ciabatta.
Ryan likes to keep it light with that Michigan apple, the chicken Caesar, or the Greek salad. And then Braylon and I, he got us for dessert. Don't forget to cool down with that hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summers just got better at Big Boy.
Big Boy. Guys, I gotta tell you, there's not a lot of stories that would make us talk or make us feel compelled to talk NBA in August on the precipice of football season, but I think this is just so rich.
I think it's worth it.
This is beautiful. Kevin Durant giving the Nets an ultimatum. He wants GM Bobby Marks and the head coach Steve Nash out. If you can't trade me, if you don't want to trade me, fine, I'll stay, but get rid of these yahoos.
Clown emoji.
Braylon, what do you make of this circus situation in Brooklyn? It has been a circus from day one.
Yeah, I don't think Marks knows what he's doing, and I agree with KD. I don't know necessarily if I would handle it like this, but maybe I would have if I was in that situation. Marks has not done a good job in terms of the people that he's brought in terms of the people that he's gotten out. Steve Nash, when you look at the struggles that they had outside of James Harden being hurt at some point in the year, Kyrie Irving and his vaccination status up and down all year. Outside of that, some people are great players. That doesn't mean it translates to coaching. Steve Nash is terrible as it relates to half-court sets, setting up offense, last 2 minutes of a game. They look like a rec league when they're at the end of games trying to figure out what plays to run. They play one-on-one basketball at the end of the game. As a coach, that's not how you run playoff basketball. That's not how you compete to win championships. So even if all three of them were there, talking about Harden, talking about James Harden and Kyrie and KD, it wouldn't matter because the coach didn't know what he was doing in prime time situations. So I agree with that. Look, Isaiah Thomas was one of the best point guards of all time. Isaiah Thomas was not a good basketball coach. Now, he wasn't a good coach in college. He wasn't a good coach with the Knicks. Was not a good coach. It's okay.
Pretty good for the Pacers.
Yeah.
It's just okay.
Sorry, you're talking bad about my guy here.
No, I'm not talking bad about your guy. I'm saying your guy was one of the best of all time at playing. not coaching. And I love Steve Nash.
Right.
And I love Steve Nash. But they put themselves in a situation, too, because they're Kyrie and KD running around talking about didn't matter who the coach was, or Kyrie said that, and KD did not disagree with him. So they put themselves in this situation as well. At the end of the day, it is Barnum and Bailey up there at the
total circus
at the Barclays right now.
You know, I look. The Steve Nash hire felt like a Brad Ausmus hire to me.
Agreed.
Me too.
You give these championship-worthy teams these rookie coaches that have no idea what they're doing.
No chance.
Zero chance.
Can you imagine?
Totally overmatched.
Can you imagine if they would have hired Thibodeau with Brooklyn as opposed to Steve Nash?
But again, that's another problem, though, and here's where I'll go against KD in this respect. Probably KD wouldn't work with a coach like Thibodeau.
Right.
Because Thibodeau wouldn't work with a player like LeBron. These guys feel like they are above everybody in the organization. And I think LeBron is to a certain extent. But when did LeBron win a lot, too? When he had Pat Riley up there as well. I mean, you got to have, I think, and Braylon, you can correct me. Maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about here. But no matter how great of a player you are, you still have to have somebody willing to tell you no. I think Jordan had it with Phil Jackson. Kobe had it with Phil Jackson.
Jordan loved Doug. That's actually a damn good point. That's a damn good point.
LeBron had it in Miami with Pat Riley. Pat Riley was not going to let LeBron, Wade, and Bosh overtake Spoelstra. Because that would have been very easy to do.
That's why
probably.
That's why Spo is still there. That's why Spo is still winning. Mm-hmm. That's why he went to the finals a couple years ago. Because Pat Riley was put in a decision where it was LeBron or Spo, and Pat Riley said, "I've been doing this too long. It ain't gonna be Spo."
So again, you still, no matter how great of a player you are, you can be the greatest of all time. When it comes to team sports, you have to have somebody in the organization that still has the ability to say no.
Who hired Steve Nash? Let's start there. Was it the owners or was it Marks?
I don't know that answer. But
it was Durant.
I do know that Steve Nash was in place when Kevin Durant.
So Kyrie hired him essentially. Essential. But with that being said, in that case, it's their fault. It's their fault.
Yes, that's the point.
You've given an individual like Steve Nash who has no coaching experience, and I understand how great of a player was. I understand how great of an IQ he had when he played the game. That doesn't mean you just give him a team and think that he's got some stars on it, he can win. Like, these coaches work hard to be damn good coaches. Like Darvin Ham. The years that Darvin Ham has put in, and I'm not saying he's a great coach. He hasn't even coached yet. But I'm just talking about his process. The years that he has put in as an assistant coach, learning under individuals before he got a crack at being the head coach. Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr spent tons of years under who?
Yes.
Popovich. It takes time, effort, and energy. Juwan Howard coached under Eric Spoelstra. Down there with the Miami Heat as a player coach, and then on their staff. You got to have individuals that take the right route to be a good coach. Not just say, hey, you want to be a coach, I heard you're interested in it, you're Steve Nash, boom, we'll give you a shot. Doesn't work like that all the time.
I said from day one, and I'm a Net fan. They've never won an NBA championship. They were the last ABA champion. They've had nothing but bad luck since the day they got drawn into the NBA. I mean, they lost Julius Erving on the night on their first game against the Lakers. They sold him for $1 million to the Sixers. That's like a jinx like none other. That's the Bobby Lane jinx and the Babe Ruth jinx all put together. The Nets aren't going to win. They're a disaster in Brooklyn. And now they're even worse off because now they're going to get pennies on the dollar for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
I wouldn't trade them. Trade him. Jay Williams said this morning, and I agree with him. I saw the clip. He said, call his bluff. He's 33 years old. He got him under contract for 4 more years. He ain't sitting out. He's not gonna not play for 4 years. If you can't get what you believe is fair market value for KD, call his bluff. I think it's a fascinating situation. I want to play this clip for you. So Rick Bucher on one of the shows talking about last year a situation with Ben Simmons. What a disaster. Take a listen.
Ben Simmons, they're having a team chat before Game 4, thinking he's going to play against the Boston Celtics. And from what I'm told, Ben just left the chat. They asked him, are you going to play? Ben left the chat. Like, he didn't even answer the question, just left the chat. And Katie's like, this is what I signed up. Like, this is who I'm playing with?
I mean, that's just staggering.
What a terrible teammate.
I would have put hands on him as a teammate.
Yeah.
Like here I am. I'm like we get you here.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to win championships. Y'all traded my boy James Harden. We got you instead. You're now here. I'm putting hands on this guy. If he leaves the chat and doesn't want to talk to anybody, but you want to be seen on the court wearing all these flashy outfits with all these diamonds and jewels, because you want that other side of the game. You want the glitz, the glamour, the cars, and the women that come with it. You want the Kendall Jenners and etc. But you don't want to go on the court and put no work in. Man, it would have been problems. But I got one small note with this. Like just a little pet peeve that's starting to go crazy. These sources, they need to start revealing some sources. Who told you this? Like, who was the individual that gave you this information? Because sometimes it's like, did it really happen? Or because I'm tired of having the did it happen? Or now I got to figure out, is this source telling the truth? Who was this source? Sometimes you have sources. Is it okay if I put the information out there that it came from you? Kyrie, did this come from you? Kyrie, did it come from KD?
Is it cool?
It came from KD.
No, 100%.
That's where it came from.
You're right.
Yeah.
Unbelievable stuff.
What's
man.
wrong with that kid?
I don't know. All I know is that he doesn't play.
That mental health stuff is starting to look real true right now. Like at each impasse, it's just something else or another thing where you're like, it might whatever happened mentally at the breakdown of the playoffs 2 years ago has affected, or a year ago, actually, not a little over a year ago, a year and a half ago, has affected the hell out of him moving forward. It's changed him.
You're right.
Yep.
You know what? There's a lot of players. In baseball, there was a player called Steve Blass.
Yeah.
He pitched for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 70s. Terrific pitcher. I think he won 20 games one year. And then he just couldn't throw the ball over the plate anymore. And they call it, he got his own name for a disease. Yeah. They call it Steve Blass disease.
But
he just lost
crazy.
it. Mackie Sasser, the Mets catcher.
Yeah.
He couldn't throw the ball back to the pitcher anymore.
They made fun of him in Major League too. Remember when the catcher couldn't throw it back? But it's a real deal, and I say that because just imagine this, and I know we're going to commercial.
No, you're good.
Just imagine this. All right, cool. You're this great basketball player, first overall, you all-star, you're the guy, blah, 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 almost win Defensive Player of the Year. You go to the playoffs, you're on a good team, you guys are supposed to challenge and do something, and then all of a sudden you play awful. I don't know what happened. You play terrible and you just can't shoot. I mean, you never really could, but you can't shoot, you can't defend. You're scared to do layups. Like that one play where he's right in the basket and he couldn't lay it up, he passed it, and it was a turnover. And then after that, now Joel Embiid comes out and talks about you. Now Doc Rivers comes out and talks about you. Now your own organization comes out and talks about you. Now everybody on social media is crucifying you. That makes you clam up. That makes you go into a shell, and that makes you not want to deal with anybody that is not family or that's going to say something positive about you. That mental health stuff with him, I guarantee you it's not BS.
All right, guys, we're going to jump back into the NFL next. More on this New England Patriots offensive situation. Tom E. Curran, a reporter, longtime Boston sports reporter who we've had on our program before, weighing in on what he saw from the Patriots offense. This is so rich. You got to see it to believe it. We'll play it for you next. But first, a message from Cintron.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings as well as the Tigers and Pistons. But guess what? They have come together to put into a limited edition, I'm talking limited edition, package the pre-order limited edition 6-pack with all their flavors, the cranberry, the sugar-free, and the classic. A 6-pack. Order now at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. This stuff will get you energized, and it is smooth, no crash. Ladies and gentlemen, smooth with no crash. Once again, CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
All summer long, the Monroe Street Midway is open in downtown Detroit. Enjoy basketball, roller skating, mini golf, art, live music, food trucks, and more. A fun, safe event for everyone between the ages of 1 and 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more info. That is deckedoutdetroit.com.
Maz, quickly on the Bucher story.
Shams Charania, 1.8 million followers, great NBA insider, told Pat McAfee today, quote, "This never happened. It's an amazing story, but it didn't happen," unquote. He's just talking about Ben Simmons and that, what you just said.
And that's why I always say it's getting on my nerves when these people just say, oh, a source told me, or they come up with these stories, and you're like, oh, man, that's crazy that they would do that, blah, blah, blah. Name your source.
Yeah, it's just not how it works. I agree with you. I'm 100% in lockstep with you. It's just not how it works.
Okay, I give you that, but don't make up BS for them.
Yeah, I mean, but again, it's so hard to say, like, don't make up BS. I think of the one time I broke a story, the Rich Rodriguez story.
But that was true.
Yeah, it was true. But at the time, people thought I was making it up because you don't reveal your sources.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the time, people, and I wasn't going to be like, well, I heard it from the athletic director's wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What are you doing talking to her?
Like, you don't say that.
I get that.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Either you stay authentic and you don't name your sources, but we find out everything that you say is true, or you keep making up BS and we start to find out further, like more and more. I think this person just makes stories up for clout.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you as a viewer or you as a consumer of news has to decide when you hear people, Rick Bucher, for instance, he's been in the business for 35 years. Yeah. Is he a guy that is making crap up for 35 years? I don't think he is, but I don't know. I would like to believe that you're not around for that long if you're just making up stuff. I would like to believe that over the course of 3.5 decades in the business that you've got enough sources or enough clout to give out accurate information as it's told to you. It's not saying that story's true or false. It's just I don't doubt that was told to him. I don't think he said that out of the blue.
Simmons told the New York Post it must be a slow news day.
Yeah, well.
I'm not listening to nothing he says.
Yeah, right.
I'm definitely not listening to
I want to do this. I take great joy in this story. I do. This might make me a bad person. I take great joy.
It doesn't.
Patriots offense really struggling. Tom E. Curran, 2 tweets regarding the New England Patriots offense. You with me, Fletch? All right. Patriots' #1 offense today has been distressingly bad. Run stuffs, aborted plays, would-be sacks, distress lobs into traffic just to get the ball out. Beginning to feel it's less the new offense and more the post-Scar cycle of offensive line coaches. They are perpetually overwhelmed. That is as descriptive a tweet as I've seen in the NFL, period, about a unit.
I didn't need anything behind that. That was enough. I got it.
He goes on to say, you can be the greatest history teacher in the entire school. Still doesn't mean sending you to teach science is going to be easy for you or beneficial for students. Ooh. Could that be a shot at Matt Patricia?
I hope so.
Who is a really good defensive mind.
Supposedly.
Allegedly. Supposedly.
Not here, though.
Doesn't mean you're going to be a good offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
I take great pleasure in this story.
This is great. I mean, this is when we talked about it with Bill Belichick, man. Just sometimes guys think they can just make anything happen, and I am one that said it could work. I am an individual that said it could work. I'm not going to sit up here and lie. I said that it could work. I say he knows enough about the game. I say he's also did this before or done this before. And the team went 14-2 where they didn't announce an offensive coordinator. But it seems like it goes back to what we said yesterday. You can do things like that when Tom Brady is your quarterback, when Rob Gronkowski is your tight end, when LeGarrette Blount is your running back, who is a very good running back for them in the playoff. When your offensive line is together, when Steven Gostkowski is still your field goal kicker, when Jared Mayo and Devon Hightower and McCourty brothers are your and Stephon Gilmore. But when you don't have all that, and you're trying to break in young guys, and you're trying to break in the talent on the skill position side, where I was looking at their names, I'm like, who, what, who? Now I know they have Devontae Parker from Miami, but maybe there's a reason why he left Miami. It's going to be an interesting year, and I got the Detroit Lions by 22.
Hey, David Adams is their captain, and he's a center on the Patriots. The media caught up with him after practice yesterday, and I asked him about what's going on, man.
And he said,
David, what's the feeling right now after a practice like that for the offense?
Just got to go in and correct it tomorrow and come out here, have a better day tomorrow.
David, you were pretty vocal with the guys. What kind of things are you saying to try to get them in the right direction?
Just what I said was I said, but we're just trying to move forward, try to correct it, and come out here and have a better day tomorrow.
What is your level of frustration?
Look, it's just part of it. It's up and downs of training camp, and got to go in, learn from it, see what we can do better, and like I said, come out here tomorrow. Can't let today or any day derail anything in the future. That's just how it goes. Wins, losses, you just got to stay steady. Can't go up and down.
He sounds like a guy overwhelmed.
I just think it's I'm sorry for the players because, again, the players you don't get to decide in the NFL who coaches you for the most part. And it's just a crap show. I said this yesterday, clickbait or not, I don't believe Bill Belichick will ever win another playoff game. I just don't. I don't see it happening.
It's a tough AFC.
I mean, you're talking about 2, 3, 4 more years perhaps, and I just don't think they got what it takes anymore in New England.
He's put his team, he's put his players in a very, very tough spot. He's put them in a bad spot because, I mean, and I get the people out there saying, hey, you know what, this is the first week of training camp, or this is week 2, the start of week 2, if you will. That's true. And there are bad times, there are bad days. But those bad days are usually with offensive coordinators that have been in place for a very long time. Right. A defensive coordinator that was named not this week, and that wasn't a kicker coach the day before, a special teams coach. So it's going to be interesting to see what they look like in their first preseason game. It's going to be even more interesting to see what Mac Jones looks like when that season starts, because they don't have a bevy of talent like they once did. They legitimately have a bunch of players trying to figure it out as they go, including the quarterback, who's a young guy. If you fracture his mind now, with his confidence level, you may not never get it back.
Do you really believe Bill Belichick would allow his team, and especially his rookie quarterback, to implode like this? I don't believe all of this stuff. I do say they're a little out of sync.
Right.
But I don't think he's dumb enough to let Dumbo Matt Patricia he's not going to throw the keys away to him unless he really believes that we're going to get this straight and we're going to be fine.
Again, Maz, I go back to what I said about Bucher. I'll apply it to Tom E. Curran. He's one of the most respected.
We had him on the show.
Yes, we did. He's one of the most respected journalists in Boston sports history.
Yeah.
Period. That description of the New England Patriots offense was not written lightly. That wasn't like, oh, they had a bad day at practice today. That was as descriptive, as awful can be. And I just think that Bill Belichick, perhaps you want to do it your way. You've done it your way so long, and you were successful for so many years, that you just are so cocky and confident that your way, you could pluck guys off the street and your ways are going to work. And it ain't true. It's just not true. If you're not evolving, you're going backwards, period.
I definitely will be. I'm eager to see how this season plays out for Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, as I almost fell out this chair. And the reason why is Bill Belichick last year, or this past year, they made it to the playoffs, right? But then they got whooped by the Buffalo Bills. The year before that, they don't make the playoffs. The year before that, they don't make the playoffs. The year before that, they got beat. Last play, like Tom Brady's last play for them was a pick six. In the playoffs. Like, that's his last 4 years. So you can't honestly tell me that this is how Bill Belichick is going to go out, where he's legitimately going to look at all of that and not provide us with an offensive coordinator that knows what the hell he's doing, that can help mentor this young man after you knew you were going to lose Josh McDaniels, a defensive coordinator. You can't tell me you can't put the right players in place to help this guy Mac Jones, because your defense is going to be decent. Now, your defense was good last year. That's the reason why you won 7 games in a row. So the defense will be fine. That's why all you're hearing about is the offense side. I get that. I just still got to think that Bill Belichick is still Bill Belichick and has to look at it a certain way, because I just can't fathom him looking at his last 4 years and being able to not do anything about that to improve that offensive side so that he goes out the right way. I just can't see it.
Masters videos of the day next, but first a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
That is right. Whether you're home or on the road, they're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what is important to you stays safe. Call that number above my head right now, 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, we want to take a minute and thank each and every one of you for trusting Woodward Sports as your sports content, digital content.
Thank you.
30,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is a pretty significant number on this platform, and we thank each and every one of you. Next stop, 40,000. Let's keep it going as this
little old Woodward Sports
digital sports network continues
we didn't practice
to grow
that either.
here. No,
I thought you guys did. Like, I was like,
we didn't practice that.
Was this?
I think I said it once, and I think it stuck.
I've heard you say Little Woodward Sports, but you guys said it the same time, same tone, same way.
Little old Woodward Sports.
You guys having conversations that I'm not a part of?
Not at all.
Never.
You guys whispering?
So thanks to each and every one of you. We really appreciate it. Seriously.
All right.
And continue to tell your friends about us, and we'll be around for a while. But it's that time of the day, Braylon. We like to play Maz's videos of the day.
And now it's time for Maz's videos of the day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, you never know who's going to pop by Lions training camp, especially now with the cameras all there, Hard Knocks there. Corey Woods is there every day for us, our Lions beat reporter. Who did he run into? None other than Jalen Rose.
So talk to me out here at the Lions camp. Jalen, just talk to me about how you feeling about the team this year and just why you out here.
Well, here's how I feel. Like, in the city, we ride or die for our team. And the Lions represent that heartbeat, that loyalty, that love. We had a great draft. We got some speed. Dan Campbell excited about the squad. I'm excited about the squad. You excited about the squad. Roar! Let's do that.
Ready for Hard Knocks tonight?
Yes, indeed. We're going to crush that. This is Detroit, baby. 3-1-3. What up, though? Boss up. Hard Knocks down.
How about that?
Jalen Rose,
Big
baby.
brother Jalen Rose. Shout out to Jay Rose. His golf outing is coming up for the Jalen Rose.
Are we doing our show
Academy.
from there? No.
We are working on it. Working heavy on that. So, Jalen Rose Leadership Academy celebrating their 13th. I want to say their 13th year. So.
Unbelievable.
Shout out to Big Bro, and he was on the show.
Great job by Corey Woods there. Good man, Corey. Keep up the great work. Let's go to another camp. Let's go to Buffalo Bills camp, shall we? I told you a little bit earlier about Case Keenum. Yes, he is the backup quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. He got Josh Allen, of course, not going to start over him unless there's an injury. But you know what? He's a backup quarterback. So what did he do? He disguised himself, put on his plain clothes, and went into practice like a fan trying to get autographs. Check it out.
Case Keenum here. I'm going to see today how many autographs I can get from my teammates. Let's go Bills.
Hey, Isaiah, man, can I get your autograph, man? I've been a big fan of yours, man. Ever since you was in college, man. Will you do it one more time for me, man? It's kind of hard to read.
Is this Case? I was about to get you twice.
Hey, Case, can I get your autograph, man? Hey, man, you're my favorite player, man. Who's your favorite backup quarterback? Okay, I'll see you later, man. Good luck out there, man.
I'm about to get kicked out of here. Okay, this 2019 one still works?
No, that doesn't.
It doesn't work?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get autographs, sir.
All right, then you got to go on the other side of the...
Hey, Brandon Bean, man, will you get can I get your autograph there, man?
How you doing, buddy?
What do you think of the defense this year, man? It's going to be great. I'll be looking good this year, man.
I'm about to say, what the hell?
Will you sign this for me, man?
I sure will. Where did Josh go?
How great is that?
Good.
So one, that's amazing. That was amazing. Two things I took from that. One, Gabriel Davis is a unit. He's a big dude.
He is coming, man.
100%.
There's another
100%.
guy coming.
And the last thing is, see, this is what championship teams do. This is what good teams do.
Thank you.
Last year they had Mitch Trubisky as the backup who's a Pro Bowl. Now they got Case Keenum, who's been to the NFC Championship with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
That's a team that gets it. They're now my Super Bowl pick from the AFC.
Oh, yeah.
They get it.
In the world
They get
do
it.
you notice about it?
They get it.
Mitchell Trubisky, not only was they upgraded.
Yes.
They upgraded their backup quarterback position.
Some people get it, some people don't.
And Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yes. He's up there.
He's right there.
Look, and his backup is probably the best backup in the NFL, too.
He's definitely up there.
Hey, David Bly.
Please.
Jordan Davis.
Please.
Like I said, we're carrying one quarterback this year here in Detroit.
Jesus.
Hey, Jacoby Brissett's a good backup. Cleveland did all right.
This is true.
They did all right.
This is true.
We move on. We move on. 34 years ago today, guys, NHL hockey
was I alive?
has never been the same since this day. It's better since this day.
Log out.
Take you back to Edmonton.
And it's with mixed emotions, a heavy heart for our community and our hockey club, but I guess with delight and sincere best wishes for Wayne Gretzky, that I announce, and I guess more important, confirm that the Edmonton Oilers have agreed to trade Wayne Gretzky to Los Angeles.
Oilers owner Peter Pocklington. Yes, the day Wayne Gretzky was traded. And what was that 30 for 30, the first one ever?
King's Ransom.
King's Ransom. You guys should watch it. But that made hockey get into these southern states and go out and be as successful as it is today.
Coast.
Isn't that something?
Took it to the West Coast.
Yeah.
Took it to the
West Coast. Here's the side note to that.
No.
Obviously, a lot of you know that. He wanted to go to the Red Wings. And his dad talked him out of it, saying, why do you want to go to a team that had a guy named Gordie Howe at that point? But if he goes to the Red Wings, who knows if they even win all those cups in a row. You don't know how everything went. It would have been different. Or maybe they win 10 freaking Stanley
you put?
Cups.
I don't have your list. Did you put the Bill Murray, Harry Carey on here?
I did not.
Oh my God. I'm looking for it like crazy. It is the funniest freaking video.
I've seen it a million times, and I never get tired of it.
I mean,
I didn't put it in because I thought we weren't allowed to like play game footage or something.
It's
like
not
that.
game footage.
Okay, that's great.
It's just a game.
How about I put it on tomorrow?
That'd be
for you?
great. It's Harry Carey and Bill Murray on 8/8/88, which is the day that the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field played their first night game. That got rained out, by the way.
Yes.
And it's Bill Murray.
Hi.
It's Bill Murray and Harry Carey. Hey, Bill Murray, this Bud's for you. Hands him a Bud Light. Well, thank you, Harry.
That was great.
So you're making your home in Hollywood or New York? Well, Harry, we're in New York. It's so great.
Man,
so great.
I can only think about Will Ferrell now when I think about Harry Carey.
Oh my God,
scary Harry Carey.
So great.
That was my guy.
Is that it, Baz?
That is.
Well, I'm going to save some. We're out of time. I'll
Very
save
good.
it
We
tomorrow.
are out of time. Bray, get us out of here. Hell of a day.
Sorry,
thanks
my
to all
allergies-
of you.
My allergies have been killing me. I got my Zyrtec. I will be back tomorrow. But you guys know what time it is. Tonight.
You know what time it is.
Hard Knocks is here, baby. The Detroit Lions on Hard Knock. My man Sticks in the studio. Join him for the recap at 11 o'clock tonight. Well, let's get it popping, man. Detroit, you asked for it. Here it is. This is the bottom line. My man Fletch, my man Flannel Sam Maz on the couch wearing the Tennessee Volunteers today. And my brother from another mother to the left, Ryan Ermanni. This is the bottom line.
Do I just go? I'm not going to drop. Go. All right. Go ahead. 2, 1. Oh, my God. Go. Oh, jeez. Oh, my. Oh. This isn't right. I don't get paid enough for this. Oh.